Tonight on the Black Channel, you can't win when you don't know the rules, and the game is white supremacy. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, well, folks, let me tell you, it's a sports day. Whether you want it to be or not, it's a sports day, and you are engrossed in the sport of white supremacy. We're not going to start where you might think we're going to. We're not going to start there. And don't worry, we will get there, though. But lesser known here, boy, I'm telling you, have you ever seen one man in college sports who every damn week you look up and it's coming back to them? Have you ever seen it before? One of Deion Sanders' sons here, Shilo Sanders, ejected from the game. Ejected for targeting, they said. The article here from Sports Illustrated, Colorado's Shilo Sanders ejected for targeting after big hit on UCLA pass catcher. Colorado is locked in a tight battle at halftime on the road against number 23 UCLA and will now have to play the remainder of the game without one of its starting defensive backs. Buffalo's defensive back Shilo Sanders was ejected for targeting late in the second quarter after a hit that he delivered to UCLA running back Carson Ryan. By the way, I'd like to show you Mr. Ryan here. Let me go ahead and show that to you here. So, say hello to Mr. Ryan. All right. Just wanted to make sure we dealt with that. Ryan was running across the field toward the sideline when he caught a pass from quarterback Ethan Garbers. Sanders delivered the hit with the crown of his helmet under the face mask of Ryan. Really? Sanders clearly thought the hit was clean as he flexed for his celebration after delivering the blow. However, after a review, it was determined that Sanders led with his helmet and he was ejected for targeting. Since the penalty happened in the second quarter, Sanders will miss the second half but will be eligible to start the game next Saturday at home against Oregon State. Now, some of you here might be wondering, exactly what happened. Well, let me go ahead and show you exactly what occurred. Here it is. From ESPN's Twitter page, you can see for yourselves what happened here.
This hit, but in the new rules that we've been dealing with for the last 5 or 6 years, I mean, this is, I don't know. What do you think of that one?
He did come in with the crown of the helmet underneath the chin.
He is out of the game.
Yeah. Bill, I know he's excited about this hit, but in the new rules that we've been dealing with for the last 5 or 6 years, I mean, this is, I don't know. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, they said that's targeting. Most of you are like, what in the world are you talking about? That's a clean hit. What do you can see he's leading with his shoulder. Well, we played it slow motion and the crown of his helmet came in below the chin, don't you see? Some of you out there might be saying to yourselves, well, I don't know, Jason, you might be wrong about that. I mean, it could be a little more complicated than that. Okay, maybe we should ask the pros, none other than Richard Sherman. Yes, that Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman said they have officially taken it too far, ruining the game. Richard Sherman is saying, what in the world is this? I'm a professional. I play at the NFL. What is this? What are you talking about? So you go down here and it's helmet to helmet on that one angle. These players need to get lower and maybe it's clean. Richard Sherman, no. Now take a look at this right here. Don't think it was targeting, but he definitely led with the helmet. I'm not questioning your football knowledge. That would be stupid. Okay, then, as you're questioning his football knowledge, by the way. But I thought y'all were told to wrap him up in this situation because of new rules like defenseless receiver and things like that. First of all, is this a defenseless receiver? This is defenseless? You can see defenseless. Where's defenseless? I'm white and I say so. To which Richard Sherman responded, you don't have to wrap. Sometimes wrapping opens your shoulders to dislocation and subluxation. So much for being a dumb jock. You don't have to wrap. Sometimes wrapping opens your shoulders to dislocation and subluxation. If you are tackling a heavier player and the angle is bad, you take a look at Shilo and then you take a look at Carson. Clearly, he's bigger. Clearly. That's the point that Sherman is making is, by the way, against a bigger player, because Carson is like 255 pounds. So sometimes this is the right hit to make for a player that is smaller than the guy he's tackling. This is coming from a professional now. He's not giving you crazy answers. He's explaining exactly what that is. And got folks out here who literally can't get off their couch without assistance from a home health provider sitting up here trying to argue about that. When everyone and their mama can see what this is. You can see you can clearly see what in the hell's going on here. The fella sitting up here and as soon as he's able to get next to the guy, you can see he's leading with his shoulder. You can see that's leading with his shoulder. You can clearly see that. You can clearly see what he's trying to do. We put it in slow motion. Well, Jason Black put it in slow motion, and this is what you get. This is what you get if you put it in slow motion. He's literally trying to nerf this as much as he can. So he's sending his head into the receiver's chest is what the hell he's doing. Everybody and their mama can see that. But that's not the real problem. You see, there are two cardinal sins that have been committed here by Shilo Sanders. Number one, your daddy. Because they got the long knives out for him. But that's not the real penalty that you're being penalized for. No. That's not the real offense. Let me show you all what the real offense is. They got that on video too. Here's the real offense. Oh, egregious showboating. That's the real offense. You're being too egregious with the showboating. Yeah, you can't do that. This is what he got ejected for, right there. That's what he got ejected for. How dare you sit up here and prance? How dare you sit up here and flex? How dare you do such a thing? I know I'm that good. How dare you have confidence in yourself? How dare you do such a thing? Oh, we're going to deal with that right now. We're going to deal with that right now. Oh, you think your daddy can't protect you from this now, can he? Yeah, your daddy's not going to be able to protect you from what we're going to do here now, can he? No, your daddy's not going to be able to stop this. Yeah, you might be able to play, but you might be winning by the rules of the game. But yeah, we're going to show you that retroactively. Yeah, you're winning at the game of football, but you're about to lose at the game of white supremacy. You're about to lose at that. So I want you all to take a look at that and see exactly what it was that he really got penalized for, what he really got ejected for. Look, folks, need I remind you all, whether it's football, basketball, golf, whenever the black athletes are clearly sunning and shining over the white athletes, here comes a new rule. Here comes a new regulation. Here comes a new penalty. In the case of Deion Sanders, now it's for the coaches. Oh, yes, the NCAA loves to partner with corporate brands until Deion Sanders shows up. We need to stop partnering with corporate brands. So they've been working all this time to partner with corporate brands right up until Deion shows up and shows that he can capitalize on it better than them. Then stop it with the corporate brands now. We need a regulation for that. When you're able to succeed despite their rigging the game, here comes a new rule. In basketball, you watch them change the rules to make it easier for the white players. It didn't help them all it did was just basically give them a stay of execution the way they were trying to do it. In football, we got to make these rules. Most of the quarterbacks are white. We need to change the rules to protect them. In the chat room, you're right. They changed entire golf courses for Tiger Woods. So yeah, when the black players started succeeding and overshadowing everyone, all of a sudden, rule change. Rule change. Can't have that going on. Rule change. Well, we're in the front office. We've observed how the players were going here, and we think there needs to be a kinder, gentler game here. So they're not worried about CTE in this case right here. So, no, your head's not what we're worried about here. We're about other people's chins. And needless to say, for a play that the fella immediately springs back up from, by the way, it wasn't like they had to come take him out on a stretcher. This is football. He's padded and everything else. He's bigger than the guy who just hit him. Substantially bigger. Well, no, we're not worried about that. We're not playing by those rules. Back up he goes. You see it for yourself. What are you talking about? Yeah, he's so hurt that he sprung back to his feet. No, young man, this is what you're about to be penalized for. You say that right? Yeah. Oh, you doing too much. You think you're gonna sit here and flex? Oh, hell no. No. Penalized, throw the flag. We messing this up. Oh, no. You ain't gonna get away with this. No, we see you getting ready to do like your daddy. You think you're gonna do like your daddy? By the way, take a look. Take a look at the flag. You see the yellow flag down here in the lower right-hand corner? Notice they don't throw it until after he flexes now. Take a look now. They only throw it after he flexes. Soon as he flexes, that's when they throw the flag. Yeah, we're flagging your flexing is what we're doing. If you all agree that that's what they were doing there, give me the football emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 2,500 people in here, 2,600 people in here live in just the first 14 minutes. But if you all agree that the flag on the play was for him flexing, not for targeting, give me the football emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Otherwise, I guess I got a bunch of UCLA players in here. Hey, calm down there, Solar Brother. Can't you obviously see? See, we have new rules to the game. And that's what you all have to understand here. It used to be a clean hit. Now it no longer is. And now y'all can see who they're using to protect with it. They're not even being subtle anymore. You see who they're protecting. Yeah, there's targeting, all right. They're targeting Deion Sanders and his sons. That's who's being targeted. Yes, they're targeting Deion and his sons. I mean, y'all, did anybody mention their names nearly this much until that man got hired on that team? Did his sons ever get this much attention before their father came to the NCAA? Did they get that much attention before now? Now, all of a sudden, we doing everything. Now, all of a sudden, we're doing everything. I'm sure it's just one big coincidence, right? I'm sure it's just one big coincidence. Well, we're not done. We're not done here because I know what you want to talk about, and we're going to get to that. I know what you all want me to speak on, and of course, I could have told you what was going to occur there. Wasn't really following it because I'm already going to tell you what's going to happen. I had told people, no, I do not see Francis getting knocked out, but I do see chicanery afoot. So you got that going for you. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. Before I do, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Cash App, maybe Super Chat here later. Venmo, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we'll be discussing this and more. This is The Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess, and I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One, and to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com and show your love.
More Threads, a brand owned by a descendant of Black American freedmen, was created to uniquely address Black American history and contributions that have been intentionally hidden and suppressed. Use their apparel and more to learn and share the Black American history of Black inventions, heroes, towns, Black business districts, and more. Sign up and support not only a Black-owned business, but a movement at www.morethread.co.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Natural Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And I told you tonight, tonight's program is the sport of white supremacy. It's the sport of it here. And so it wasn't just one thing you saw this weekend. It wasn't just one incident that you witnessed. It's more than that. It's more than that. Now, as you all know, the big fight that was supposed to take place between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Once again, it's one of those things that you can see what happened here. It says, Fury caught Ngannou with an elbow. Caught? Don't you mean hit him with one? He didn't catch him with one. You take a look at where his glove is. It wasn't like the hit that he sent that Ngannou dodged it. Ngannou didn't slip the punch. He said, yeah, look here, these punches ain't good enough. Let me go ahead and throw an elbow. These punches, man, damn legit boxing. Let's get to some dirty boxing in here. So it's these gloves are too soft. Let me go ahead and throw this at you. Let me throw this at you. By the way, in the chat room, you make a very good point. If Ngannou had hit Fury with an elbow, they probably would have immediately disqualified Ngannou and said that, oh, he screwed up and was using MMA fighting tactics. That's what they would have said. If Ngannou had slipped up and hit Tyson Fury with an elbow, they would have claimed, oh, we're disqualifying him and Fury automatically wins because you used the MMA move. Okay, Fury's like, good thing you can't use no MMA moves because watch this hammer strike. So glad you can't throw no elbows. I'm so glad. Let me show you these white rules over here. So glad you can't do that. Yeah, I'm so glad you can't throw an elbow. Now watch me. Where are the judges? The judges, and they're over there at Burger King with Dylan Roof. I'll get the number 5 with some fries. I'll get back to officiating here in just a minute. So of course you know that's going on. Of course you do. Now here's the other thing is that Ngannou is getting ready to come with that right, and here comes we're going to go ahead and stuff you with an elbow. But you also know what else is supposed to happen. No, they didn't penalize him for it. No, they didn't. But you know what else is supposed to happen? See, this was supposed to be a Mike Tyson moment. I want you all to understand exactly what you're looking at here. This was supposed to trigger a Mike Tyson moment. Because he's been breaking rules and the judge has been letting him get away with it. And this was supposed to put him in a situation where he was just going to go nuts. This was supposed to be agitating him and goading him and provoking him into doing something that they just saw Fury hit him with an elbow, but this is supposed to provoke him to do something else. And then, oh, look what you did, Ngannou. Oh, well, we're calling the fight now. That was supposed to provoke him. This is supposed to make him have a Mike Tyson moment. And that didn't happen. But I want you to understand what the real goal and the real intention was. He was trying to provoke the man into doing something else and he didn't fall for it. And the other thing is, take a look at that. That was a shot straight to the head. I want y'all to take a look at that. That was a shot directly to the head. That wasn't a punch that didn't go where it was supposed to go. That was the elbow directly to the head, y'all. Do you see that? That is an elbow directly to the head. You take a look at that. That's an elbow straight to the head. That wasn't a punch that didn't go somewhere it was supposed to go. That wasn't, oh, I got long arms. That was an elbow straight to the head. You go down the comments section. Pretty impressive he wasn't phased. Then again, he used to that. Okay. You got folks down there trying to explain away and deflect. Mike Tyson made a career of that same elbow nonsense. So they down there trying to explain as best they can for him. It's not going so well, but then again, white rules, we're ready for it. No, we're going to leave you your belt. We're not going to take any points from you. Don't you see? That's not just one fella going at you. White supremacy is a system. Talking about boxing fans, if Floyd Mayweather did this, if Floyd Mayweather had done this to Conor McGregor, they'd have walked in the middle of that ring and took all his belts right then. If Floyd Mayweather had done this to Conor McGregor. White supremacy is a system. This is why we always remind you, white supremacy is systemic. You don't have racism unless you have a group phenomenon, because otherwise you have no power. Tyson Fury can do something like this, but it's not white supremacy unless he gets back up. He got to have the whole system come to his defense. No, we're not taking any points. No, we're not penalizing you. No, we're not disqualifying you. No, we're not taking your belts. No, we're not going to do anything about that. As a matter of fact, if Ngannou does the same thing, we're going to penalize him. That's white supremacy. That's systemic. That's what it means to be in a system of racism. You're not operating by yourself. You got backup. You got help. Everybody around you is in on it. You can do these kinds of illegal things and they will support you. They're not supporting you doing right. They're coming to your support because you did something wrong. And we're supporting you. That's the whole point we've been making the whole damn time. Another thing here, by the way, I just took a look at this again. I'm so glad that we got this in slow motion because take a look at this right here. Now, what Fury is doing is actually blocking Ngannou's right. He's actually blocking his right and holding Francis' head. And the reason I'm saying that is because take a look at how long that his glove stays up there on the side of Ngannou's head. He's preventing Ngannou from moving. So he's just like, hey, nigga, hold that head still so I can go ahead and break these rules. Hold still. I want you all to understand that while they're over here talking about slow motion on Deion Sanders' son. Hello? So you know that he knows he was losing the fight when you start doing stuff like this. So I just want you all to know, in case you know, there's no way you look at this and see that, oh, that wasn't intentional. No, okay, hold your head. There you go. All right, hold your head for this close-up. I'm just showing you all. You see from the beginning here, he puts it right at the side of his chin because this ain't even no real punch. So it wasn't like he was trying to punch him with that. That left he threw was not a punch. That left he's putting out there is to hold him because that's what Fury does, is try to keep folk at a distance if he can. He's a tall guy, so he knows what he's doing there. Here, let me hold that right there. That's not a punch. That's not a punch. This isn't a combination. That's not a 1-2. This is a hold your head still because I'm going to do something with this right. Hold your head while I throw this right at you. Okay, there you go. Got it. I know he was damn disappointed. You got to be a pretty sorry bastard if you can cheat like this. You cheat this blatantly. You throw a right like that, and you ain't do no damage that helped you. You still losing the fight. How in the hell is it you dirty boxing and still not winning? How are you going this flagrant and this blatant against the rules and still not winning? If you throw something like that, your opponent's supposed to be down. But I also tell you something else, your opponent's supposed to be busted wide open too. So yeah, how the hell are you throwing this type of dirty shot and still didn't help? It still didn't help you. Where are all the Conor McGregor, where are all the Floyd Mayweather haters to sit up here and express and explain about that? Where are they? Because they were hoping that this was going to be like Mayweather versus McGregor, and that didn't happen. That's the other thing that upset them. This is supposed to be like Mayweather versus McGregor, and that didn't occur. Everybody and their mama, they needed Tyson Fury to be able to do what Mayweather did, and it didn't work. That's what they were trying to do. We're going to show you that, oh, well, Mayweather can knock out McGregor, but watch, it can happen to anybody. Actually, no, it can't. Actually, no, it can't. No, it can't. Y'all just understand, if you're on their side of the fence, they're like, oh, hell, this ain't great right now. Can you imagine somebody wanting to set up a rematch? Nobody wants to see a rematch of Mayweather and McGregor. Nobody wants to see that rematch. Do you think Tyson Fury is calling up the promotions to get them to schedule a rematch? Do you think that's what he's doing tonight? Do you think he's doing that tonight? Or do you think he's over there talking about retirement now? No, they thought this was going to be a repeat of history, and it's like, no, it's a repeat of history, just not the way you were hoping for it. It's not the way it's going to go. But understand what the game really is. The game is not football. The sport is not boxing. The game and the sport is white supremacy. That's the sport. That's what you're up against here. When you see all this stuff happening so blatantly like that, that's what them letting you know. It's like, okay, we interrupt this football game to bring you some white supremacy. We interrupt this football game to, yeah, okay, y'all doing, damn this game here. We're concerned about the outcomes. Damn this game. We're doing this over here. Yeah, this football game is getting in the way of white supremacy. So we interrupt this football game to bring you a white supremacy break. Here, hold this flag. We interrupt this boxing match to bring you some white supremacy. Thank you very much. No, this is supposed to send a signal here to everybody that we know what we're doing. You got to be blatant with it. Folks, understand something. Oppression, wrongdoing has to be blatant, because if it's not, then nobody will get the point or take it seriously. So you got to be blatant with it. Because you need to make sure that people don't make any mistake about what it was that happened. So you got to be blatant. That's why you got to do it up front, and you got to do it big, and everybody's got to see it, and it's got to be unmistakable for what it was. That there's only a small amount of plausible deniability. Other than that, everybody needs to see what it is so that they recognize and understand who really runs things. The other thing is to reassure the dominant society. Oh yes, the 720 degrees of analysis you'll receive nowhere else. The other thing is to reassure the dominant society. To let them know that you don't have to worry about merit. You don't have to worry about merit. Not at all. This is to send a clear message to the others. Hey, don't worry. We ain't going to if you get into a position of authority or a position of privilege, we're going to protect it. if that Negro don't knock you smooth, slap the hell out, we're gonna protect you. The only way he's gonna win is if it's just undeniable, if he does some Jack Johnson stuff. Other than that, we got your back. Other than that, we are going to protect you. We got your back. That's the point that they're making here. To let all the others know that if you can get in this position, don't worry, we'll take it from there. If you can get there, we'll take it from here. We'll take it from here. That's got to be pretty damn reassuring, doesn't it? That's got to be pretty damn reassuring for anybody else, doesn't it? What does this tell you? And understand, I'm not just talking about at the championship level, not the title level. If you're just working your way up, you can come up through the rankings. Well, don't worry, we got your back. We got your back. That's the point they're sending to all the others. Don't worry about the Negroes overrunning you because we got your back. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you're welcome to join us. Shout out here to my man Andrew L., Project Leroy, Practice Makes Paper, and everyone else here who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support. And understand, this kind of thing also happens when you're shining too much, you're doing too well. They knew that Francis, all I can say is that for those of you who don't know anything about Francis Ngannou, I suppose I can understand if you weren't watching MMA or didn't follow it. I'm sitting here the whole time like, Francis is not getting knocked out. That's not happening. That's not going to occur. Some lesser known, some lesser knowledgeable people and lesser understanding people, they thought it was going to be. I'm like, no, his chances of winning are actually very good. Francis' chances are actually very good. But that's not what's supposed to happen. That is not what's supposed to happen. See, these things are symbolic. These things are symbolic. They just need the white fella here to, quote, go the distance. They just need him to go the distance so they can go ahead and start whooping your ass with a pen. Okay, Fury couldn't whoop your ass with his hands. We'll whoop your ass with a pen. All we needed was for him to go the distance. Now we're going to come in and start explaining, and we're going to go ahead and invoke the I'm white and I say so law, and here we go. And here we go. We're going to do that instead. So just in case you thought professional boxing was less dirty or racist than the UFC, well, now you got a wake-up call for you. So yeah, we're ready for that. That's the whole point. To send a message to everybody here about, okay, that's enough right there. We got the rules sewn up. And send that to your black kids. They know what the effect of that is. You better watch what you do with the white players. You better watch how you behave with the white players. You better watch that. Just remember, Deion Sanders' son wasn't safe. The rest of you better recognize you won't be. But then again, you might disagree, so therefore the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. As always, you are welcome to join us. Let's go ahead and get to the telephone lines. Let me get caller from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Jason? This is AT from Atlanta via Lagos.
AT from Atlanta, what's on your mind?
Yeah, a couple things I want to make about the hit and the fight. The hit, if you look at it, he led with the shoulder. The player ducked, brought his chin down. That's what created the contact with the helmet, which later caused the ejection. So that was as clean as a hit as you could get without it being quote unquote targeting. So it was a BS call on that part. And as far as the fight is concerned, Ngannou actually dropped Fury in a knockdown, and he still lost on points by 1 point.
Yes, that's
So
what I'm saying.
if
History
you think
repeating
about it-
itself. That's what they did when he fought Wilder. We all remember that. So what they're basically saying is, yeah, if you don't knock him smooth, slap the hell out, we're not going to take the title from him if you don't knock him out.
You're right. With that knockdown plus that elbow, that at least should have been a draw. That fight should have at least minimum should have been a draw, not a 1 point decision for Fury. So, like you said, the system's rigged. White supremacy is showing its ugly head, and I mean we can't even show our dominance in sports because they have the white supremacist refs trying to equalize the field in their behalf. And I'm gonna land my plane there.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. And I mean, definitely, like I say, look, the point is you got to make it blatant. You got to make it blatant so everybody understands that, hey, dude is protected. The only way you're going to beat him is you got to get out there and knock his head into the 13th row. If you don't make it just undeniable and just make it where we have no excuses, they're going to make the bar as high as possible. High as possible. Caller from area code 317, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, man. My name's Gary from Indy.
All right, Gary from Indianapolis. What's on your mind?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed that with this boxing match, the reason why the white dude was able to get away with so much was one of the Arabs was putting his bullshit on. And second, was this match even WBC sanctioned?
I'm not sure about that. I do know it's white supremacy
I don't
sanctioned.
think it was.
I mean, definitely he's protected. Definitely is protected. So
yeah, but
even if he,
but my thing is, I'm sorry, sir.
I get the point you're making though. Is like, by the way, we're giving ourselves as much leeway to deal with it however we want to. So I get your point.
I mean, it's like if that elbow that he threw, if that was WBC sanctioned, yeah, that would have been a disqualification. That was an MMA elbow. So that was just the point. That was just something I just wanted to point out. I mean, the Arabs were behind this, and it wasn't even a WBC sanctioned match.
Okay, so they're saying it was sanctioned, but it was non-title. The real thing is you got to make sure that nothing happens to him. Remember, if Tyson Fury goes down, please tell me who's waiting in the wings to take his place. Tyson Fury isn't the great white hope. He's the only white hope. Hell, he's the only option. Somebody tell me if he got knocked out last night, or even if he lost last night, who's gonna take his place? Who do they got waiting in the wings to do that? Who do they have waiting in line to go ahead and do that? Literally everybody else who they want to see a fight over is not him. There's the real issue. So you gotta go to the mat to protect him. You have to. He goes, you don't have anything else.
Well, the great white hype he definitely is.
Nobody's waiting to see Conor McGregor go up in weight classes. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Nobody's looking for Conor McGregor to step up in weight classes. Nobody's waiting for him to do that. Let me get caller from area code 215. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jake from Philly.
All right, Jake from Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Two things. Number one, I mean, obviously we already know how it is in sports. I don't have to say it any further, but did you see the game with the highlights from Ohio State versus University of Maryland?
Okay, what was your question?
All right, my statement question, but it was a similar hit, but it was a black corner and a black receiver. Oh my gosh, he knocked the brother. One brother knocked the brother back like 20 feet. It looked like. I mean, he laid them out, and it was a legal hit. It was a perfectly legal hit, but it just goes to show he didn't get ejected from the game, but Deion Sanders got ejected. Deion Sanders, his son, got ejected from the game. Do the math on that. I don't have to go any further. You know what I mean? But as far as Tyson Fury goes, as far as I'm concerned, that's his third fight he lost. Because you notice the long counts. He benefited from 3 long counts, twice against Wilder and last night. And Tyson Fury's a cheating bastard. I mean, I don't have to go any further. I'm not saying anything you don't already know.
Well, definitely, like I say, they put him out there because he's supposed to hold the place, be a placeholder so they can get somebody else in there to hold it for them. He's not supposed to be here in the first place. They gave him every advantage, every option. They gave him everything he needed. And, for example, I told y'all this after the Wilder fight. Your win online, it was insane. You had people online talking about if he beats Wilder a second time, he should be crowned the GOAT. I'm like, are you? What the hell are they lacing the heroin and the fentanyl with nowadays? Folks, I'm serious. You can look it up on Twitter. There were folks talking about if he beat Wilder the second time, he should be crowned the GOAT. Really? Are you serious?
I'll take it a step further. Let's go a step further. Look at no one pays attention to them low-the-last gloves. He didn't even have pads in the gloves the first 2 times he fought Wilder. I mean, and here's the thing: Tyson Fury he pissed twice hot for steroids. Like no one likes to mention that. He like every big fight Wilder, even when he fought the one white dude. One thing I can say about Tyson Fury, he ain't no racist because he even does dirty stuff against white fighters. So he's just a cheating bastard. But when he fought the white dude, all the while in, he pissed hot. When he fought Klitschko, he pissed hot. And plus the dude all the while in was like, yo, when Wilder came to the ring, looking crazy at the second fight, all the while in was like, yo, I got the same fight. He's like Tyson Fury, he couldn't move because he got food poison. Mysteriously, when he all the while in, he was a legit white talent. I'm not cooling. I'm just being for real. He was a legit white talent. But when he fought Tyson Fury, the night he had food poison. It can't be too many coincidences, man.
Well, when you mention about steroids here, there's something to remind people about when folks start doping with anabolics. If you start using anabolic steroids, it actually increases the number of muscle nerves that you have. So that's part of the reason why it's able to increase, your muscular density, because it actually increases and multiplies the number of muscular nerves that you have. Now, here's the issue. Once it does that, even if you stop taking the stuff, the additional nerves are there now. After it's done that, those are there. So one of the issues that you have is that even if after you stop using those anabolics, we got these additional nerve endings, those additional muscular nerves there now. So if he was using for any amount of time or whatever, it's like, okay, you're going to carry the benefit of that long after you stopped being detectable, or even if they do test for it, you're not using it, you'll still have the benefit of it. Now I say that, and then I say, and by the way, imagine having used steroids and this elbow is the best you can do. Now imagine that. So here, take these steroids, risk your life, risk your health, risk your career, and it's okay, let me get out there and give it to him. And okay, well, I might want to go back to playing video games. I'll let you have the last word.
I know. No, you got the mic. That's it. Family of your show. Take care. That's it. New Black Channel. The New Black Media, always on the rise. Be safe, man.
Thank you. That's a program, not a show. Caller from area code 504. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is G from New Orleans.
G from New Orleans. What's on your mind?
All right. Good evening, brother. 2 quick points I want to make. I know you got a busy broadcast you're dealing with, but a great broadcast as usual. I want to point out, first off, that Tyson Fury elbow, he should have had a point deducted, which would have definitely impacted the entire fight. They didn't even give him a warning for it. White America has always, and especially when it comes to boxing, it's always been a racialized sport, as you know, going back to the days of Jack Johnson, and even with that white America will still look for the great white hope, even if he's a foreigner. Tyson Fury is just one of many. From Andrew Galata is another one, and the Klitschko brothers. The other point I want to make with Deion Sanders and what happened with Colorado and that game, that Shilo Sanders should not have been ejected for that. That clearly wasn't a target. His helmet did get under the man's chin, but it wasn't anything that was deliberate like what we saw when Travis Hunter got hurt, and they didn't eject that white boy. So the politics are there. I really think they're trying to purposely keep Deion from growing with his program. Yes, they got to win. Yes, they need better players because Shador was getting tore up on that front line. But I certainly believe there's some type of fixing in college football and people and in sports in general. Boxing is a very corrupt sport. So this doesn't surprise me that they let Tyson Fury win.
Oh, no. I mean, next up, they'll be letting him bring brass knucks up in there just in case he's losing. So it's okay. You're down the points right here. Hold this right quick. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. And certainly, like I said, they're sending the message. They certainly want to do that. They certainly want to make sure that you see that happening. Do as much as you can. Get as far as you can because they're worried. They're worried. That's what I'm telling you all. Like, they don't have a bunch of options. They don't have a whole palette of options. They don't have a buffet of options here. It's like, okay, you got one. You got one. Now, as far as the Klitschko brothers, and like I say, I'm not a big boxing head, but in boxing, we've always showed respect to Vladimir because, you know, it's like, okay, a lot of folks say, hey, his reign was lackluster or whatever, but he did do what he was supposed to do. Anybody you put in front of him, he fought him. He didn't duck anybody. He didn't run from anybody. So we can say, he didn't really fight anybody of any high caliber, but he's always gotten respect because he didn't duck anybody. He didn't run from anybody. He fought whoever they put in front of him. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Okay, fine. Now show me a bunch of elbows out there like this. That's the next thing I'm looking for. Let me get called from area code 469. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Thomas calling from Dallas, Texas.
Thomas from Dallas. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Jason, this is the real life Rocky Balboa. I mean, that's pretty much who Jason Fury is to these people. I mean, he's like a movie. You know, they've been trying to live out all their lives because you know good and well that this clown wouldn't be able to stand up to Mike Tyson back in his days. Mike Tyson would have knocked this clown out in the first 2 or 3 minutes, and it'd have been over with for him. So yeah, they found their so-called great white hope, but it's not going to work. I mean, we see he's cheating, and if you had to hit it with this African dude, you know, he didn't have a reaction because he's African. But if it had been an FBA, maybe it went crazy in that ring, man. He would have had a Mike Tyson moment on his behind. And I mean, that was the only difference. And with Colorado, man, I mean, like you said, white supremacy always gonna prevail because they don't want to lose in anything, man. And so this is what we're dealing with as black players, black athletes, black musicians. I mean, they trying to steal hip hop away from us. So you know, I mean, everything, jazz. I mean, you name it, rock and roll.
Remember, every victory fuels the next victory, and every defeat fuels the next defeat. So at this point right now, they're at a critical state. It's imperative to them to make it very clear to everyone, we're in charge, we're in control. Yeah, you saw what happened. Everyone saw him get assassinated, and we want to make sure you saw that so that you understand who runs things. That's why it's got to be blatant. Now, there's a reward in the blatancy of it, but there's also a huge risk because it's hard to deceive people when you are forced to become so blatant. Then you start veering into being off code. See, white supremacy needs plausible deniability because once you make it very clear to people that you've targeted them, now it becomes incumbent on them to fight you. Now they have to make moves against you. Now they have to do things about it. So that's the peril that you run into by being forced to be so blatant. You're being desperate, which is why you're being blatant. But once you start becoming too blatant, now people are incentivized to resist you. They're incentivized to become active against you. That's the risk they run right now. So on the one hand, I'm like, okay, they doing the most out here with being dirty. But on the other hand, I'm like, now you do understand Ngannou isn't going to be the target from here on in. You will be. Fury folk are going to be looking for this now. They're going to be looking to see if you do this now. And that puts pressure on it to remove you. Pay-per-view fights ain't going to be getting purchased. Once you become so blatant, you can't do that when folks know. It's like, okay, because the whole thing is everybody says boxing's rigged. And certainly it's been a corrupt thing. But people are not going to pay pay-per-views when they know when you're just being so blatant and over the top with it. That's when folks stop throwing their dollars. I'll let you have the last word.
And this goes way back. I mean, Muhammad Ali spoke of this back in his days. I mean, I think a boxer named Jack Johnson. I mean, you go back to him. I mean, he was knocking him out the ring, and they had to punish him because he's dating them white women. And so, man, it's a long history of this bullshit going on. And be one, man. Y'all have a good night.
Be one, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Lil Rick in Houston.
All right, Lil Rick in Houston, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man, you got it right, Jason. You know, boxing will forever be corrupted. And yesterday, boxing took a major L on the chin with this debacle of a performance by Fury against someone that never had a pro boxing match. And that's good for him because what the big wigs and the suits in boxing continuously keep pushing out is boo-boo matchups. You know, they over marinate fights. We get fights too late with subpar performances by over-the-hill boxers. And yesterday, it backfired on them. Fury clearly lost that fight to the brother. And it was another chapter of this same great white hope type of guy getting away with the elbow. The dude then got away cheating. He done been popped with steroids. He lied about board meat for a dirty test and had paid off a farmer to lie for him. The farmer initially lied, then he revamped and told the truth and said, yeah, they paid me off to say he got bad board meat from me. Nicholas Ashbury, a fellow heavyweight contender who sparred Fury, went live and showed the tampered gloves that Fury had for himself with no padding to fight against him. It's just so much just lack of credible any type of, how can I put it? The dude is just trash, man. And what happened to him yesterday, it was fitting because they keep giving him chance after chance after chance and the chance, and it's catching up with him, and they trying to build him up to this Oleander Usyk fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship. And yesterday, that put a monkey wrench in that. So, in a nutshell, man, we know that white folk benefit from racism even when they don't be racist. So
okay, well, let me ask you something here, because like I said, I mean, I don't follow boxing rankings like that. I think that's one thing that Dana White has been very correct about. He said every fight in boxing is a going out of business sale. It's not like they can keep their following anymore and stuff like that. But every pay-per-view, it takes years to get there, and there's always something made. When was the last major fight in boxing before this one? And we call this a major fight because really this was a spectacle fight because, I mean, Ngannou is not really somebody who had to come up through the rankings or anything. And furthermore, if it's a non-title fight, then it doesn't matter. It would for symbolic purposes, the fight would be significant, but if it's a non-title fight, then it's inconsequential what the result
Right.
is. So you've protected yourself, so it's bogus in that regard. So yeah, I mean, this is what you're kind of forced and resorting to do, is to go for fights that get attention for reasons other than traditional competitiveness. This is important, and the point you're making about that, this is important because it's the reason why your business model isn't working like it used to. So now you're having to resort to other tactics. Now, you mentioned that name you all keep mentioning is Usyk. It sounds like that's a Russian. So is this another one of the Russians have made their way in?
Yeah, the Ukrainian guy.
Okay, so Ukrainian. All right. Let me not say Russian, because right now the Ukrainians want to get as far away from Russia as they can be. So let me let them have that. Okay, but go back to Ukrainians. So obviously we're dealing with a white dude. So what you're saying is that they're trying to build up to a fight between him and Fury?
Yeah, they're trying to build up the Fury and Usyk fight.
Okay, well,
undisputed.
Okay,
right.
that's the guy they want to beat Fury. Okay, so that's all y'all saying. So they want the white. Yeah. They want the white guy. We done fixed the rules and everything else, but Fury is long in the tooth. We know he doesn't belong. So we're gonna let the Russian beat him, and hopefully he's more Ukrainian. Let me stop saying that. We're gonna let the Ukrainian beat him, and hopefully he'll be more competitive than the others. So yeah, so that's all I need to hear. So that's the guy who is gonna beat Fury. If they're setting up that fight, then they've determined they want Fury to drop the belt to him, and he'll take it on.
Right. I mean, he got the right complexion. I mean, and prior to this, the biggest fight that we've had in like the last 20 years was July 29th, Terrence Crawford against Earl Spence. You know, two brothers, welterweights, 147 pounds, and that fight didn't even sell 1 million pay-per-views. So boxing is struggling right now, and that clown show that Saudi Arabia put together for that Fury and Ngannou fight, you know, with stringing out concerts and flying out all the past boxing greats, it backfired on them, and I'm glad it happened that way, because they need to finally start putting better product out there and listening to the fan base and have the matches that the fans want to see, who the fans are paying for, because right now that fight shouldn't even have happened yesterday. He have no business fighting someone that never had a pro boxing bout. That should have been Usyk already yesterday. So they're getting what they deserve, man.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, definitely look, they came and dropped the bag for it. You know, they came and dropped the bag for it. They're trying to get their numbers up. Everybody's trying to figure out if they can go ahead and, you know, get their weight up and become a boxing mecca and get attention for that. So folks are throwing a bunch of money at that. They're trying to get attention for it. And what I'm saying, they're using these is basically tourism advertisements. So for them, it's worth it to go ahead and do that for them. You got whole governments getting involved over there with that now. So yeah, it's worth that for them for promotion. But by the same token, they also want to make sure that they keep it stable as far as what they expect next. So you understand what the rules are there. No matter what happened in that ring last night, they made sure that Fury was protected. And what they showed last night was why he needs the protection. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller area code 929. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Jason. This is Daryl from Chicago.
Daryl from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Excellent broadcast as always, Jason. You hit the nail right on the head about these two events here. Football event with, of course, Shilo Sanders, and this one right here with Tyson Fury is really something. And over the course of the last 2 years, dealing with Tyson Fury, he's been hemming and hawing about what's going on in his camp. Everybody's brought that to attention, and every falsity that you could possibly imagine. If he was black, it would have hit headlines and probably would have stopped the fight. It would have never happened. But because he's white, they allowed it to happen, and they got used to coming right there, waiting for him. So again, you know, it's just going to be a white pass to a white. And if any brothers step up in there and take it. That'll be a great thing for boxing. But right now, boxing is hurt. Boxing is the ejection, the excitement is gone, and especially in a class which is considered the elite class, the heavyweight division. So this is suffering. But that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Derek, calling from Houston.
All right, Derek from Houston. What's on your mind?
This is an excellent broadcast as usual, brother. A lot of people not talking about the whole Bob Arum connection with this Top Rank versus Al Heyman, because Deontay Wilder was an Al Heyman fighter and Tyson Fury was Bob Arum fighter, and he trying his best to hold the big ticket with this with Tyson Fury as a heavyweight. And shouts out to Mike Tyson for getting Francis ready to fight this guy here. And, he really showed that he really knows what he's doing, and he's to be an excellent trainer and coach and everything. And that's all I want to say, brother.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 510. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Jason? This is Jay from the Bay.
All right, Jay from the Bay. What's on your mind?
I had to chime in because I'm a boxing fan, and everybody here who's talking about that match don't know shit about boxing. Fury did win that fight. I don't know how people are scoring the fight because they just going off of the guy who was supposed to look bad, didn't belong in the ring. He did good, so everybody's like, hey, he knocked him down. Well, a knockdown don't automatically win you the fight. There's 12 rounds for a reason, and particularly this fight was 10 rounds. But there's 10 rounds for a reason. That was one 10-8 round. Fury won most of the other rounds. Boxing is scored round by round. You can't steal something from somebody else just because you like the other fighter. You got your heart behind him, and he's the underdog, and he did so great. Like, sure, I was rooting for Ngannou. I wasn't rooting for Fury. I don't like Fury. But I watch boxing, and y'all can't just desecrate the sport and say, oh, he won just because he got a knockdown. Oh, he won because Fury elbowed him. No, that's not how boxing goes. It's round by round.
Just disregard the rules altogether. Don't worry about that. Okay. A novel logic and rationale that you have, but okay.
Okay. I'm saying that people are disregarding the rules by not scoring it round by round. They're just saying, hey, I've seen a few highlights from Ngannou that made Fury look bad, and Fury's supposed to be this, heavyweight world champion, the best in the world. So that's why he lost. It's like if a kid landed a good shot on an adult in a fight, the kid got the moral victory. Everybody like, you got your ass whooped by a kid. And it's like, technically, no, you didn't lose. It was a competitive fight, but Fury won more rounds.
Well, after the fight was over, did you see Fury's face?
That's again.
Okay, sir. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, after the fight was over, did you see Fury's face?
Yes.
All right. Did you see Ngannou's face after the fight was over?
I did.
Okay. Did you notice anything peculiar about that? Just anything in particular? Anything stand out to you?
I noticed that Fury's face was more marked up. Or at least you could visibly see it better.
Interesting. Tell us more.
Okay. I'm glad you added that point because it goes back to what you just said before, which is people are disregarding the rules. That's not how boxing is scored. You don't score boxing by how many knots got somebody out on the head. Because if you did, there'd be so many other fights that'll win another way.
No, we're not disregarding that. What we're saying is we're not disregarding the rules. We are saying we don't want to disregard physical evidence.
Okay, when a judge is sitting ringside, they're not looking at how many knots someone accumulated. They're scoring it based upon the Queensberry rules, which is how many punches landed, effective aggression, defense, ring generalship, all of that. So it's
okay,
not.
Sir,
are you saying that in
boxing that they're counting literal, numerical, absolute punches that land? Every single time your gloves make contact with the other fighter, we're counting that.
How about you just pull up the rules and see who's standing more in line with it?
Okay, sir, that's not what I'm asking
you. You can pull up the rules right now.
But sir, that's not what I'm asking you, because there's the flaw in what you're saying there is because if you're going off of that numerically, well, fighting would look a whole lot different than it does. So obviously they can't be doing that. So they're doing something a little bit different, aren't they, sir?
Well, I named other things than just punches landed. I told you effective aggression. I told you ring generalship, defense, all of that. Things that aren't necessarily
right.
Based
So
upon a metric.
Thank you. And that's the point that I'm making to you, sir, is that, yeah, we don't count absolute number of, quote, punches landed. Actually, we don't count that. Well, we also count effective aggression. No, you mean like the fact that my punches swole him up and busted up his eye and put a cut over his head and his punches didn't do nothing to me? You mean like that?
You said after the fight.
Wow. Okay.
How did his eye look?
Sir, take a look at the result.
Again,
you take a look at the result of Fury after the fight and the result of Francis punches on Fury and the result of Fury's punches on Francis. I would argue that right there shows you aggression. Who was more aggressive, sir?
Okay. First of all, this is why you can't just go based upon just someone's appearance, because people damage differently. Some people swell up just like that. Some people's nose will start bleeding just like that. Some people cut easily. Some people have more scar tissue built up, things like that, where they easily get injured again. If you look at Miguel Cotto, if you look at all his fights, it will always look like he loses because he cut up and swell up every time. But that's just how he damages. People damage differently. And again, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Boxing is scored round by round. So let's say someone did accumulate all that damage and got fucked up and got their face all fucked up. That could have happened in just one round. Guess what? There's more rounds to go, and you can't give them credit for something that happened previously in a round. That's why you don't go off of that, because all that. Let's say me and you got in a fight, and then I damaged you, and it made you bloody nose, gave you a swollen eye, or whatever. And then for 8 rounds past that, I boxed you up and won those rounds. Is someone going to take a look at after the fight and say, "Hey man, you look like you've been hit by a truck"? He won. No, that's not how boxing is scored. You're actually stealing from the person who probably got damaged in the beginning, but actually fought their way back and actually scored and won those other rounds. That's why you can't do that. You can't steal that from Fury. Just because everybody want Ngannou to win, just because Fury's the heel, nobody likes him. I don't like him. But I like boxing. And I watched the fight, and I scored the fight round by round. And Ngannou won 3 rounds, maybe 4 tops, and that's with the knockdown. It's a 10-round fight. You got to add it and tally it up at the end. And that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people just don't know nothing about boxing. They just see the guy they don't like. They see the guy that they want to win. He did well, and it was like, man, that happened to you? I thought you was this good. You know what? You just lost. Fuck it. You just lost. You lost the moral victory. He got the moral victory. You just lost. And it's not how boxing is. Boxing is scored with rules, and he won within those rules. Go back and watch the fight if you don't believe me. Round by round. I'm doing it again for the 3rd time, and I'm scoring it. Fury is winning these rounds. He's winning more rounds.
Okay, sir, have there ever been any controversial TKO rulings?
You said TKOs?
Yes, sir.
Not that no.
Okay, really? Okay. Mike Tyson.
A controversial TKO.
Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock. I
sure.
can go down the list. Yeah, thank you very much. I can go down the list there. So what I'm saying is that your logic about, well, we count it round by round, yet I can show you circumstances where you circumvent that round by round.
Well, yeah, that's because it's an early stoppage.
Oh, really? So in other words, if the referee actually steps in and takes account of that, that would happen. Oh, really? So you mean like if somebody, if a fighter throws a dirty punch deliberately throws an elbow, hits the other person in the head, what's the referee supposed to do about that?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about the elbow. Now, the elbow was bad. Okay.
That's very convenient to forget about the most significant thing in the fight, and you forgot about it. So that's very convenient. Sir, brother, are you sure I don't need to get you your "I'm white and I say so" t-shirt? Are you sure I don't need to get my folks together so we can go ahead and start mailing one of those out? Are you sure? We can have it there just in time for the holidays.
I didn't mean I forgot about it altogether. I meant I forgot that I was going to address that point.
Okay, well, I can have it there before Black Friday, brother.
You brought it back.
I can have it there before Black Friday. So if you need it, just let me know. I'll put express shipping on it.
You want me to answer the question about the elbow?
Go ahead.
About the ref and the elbow?
Go ahead and tell this lie.
Listen, because I was watching the fight live. No one saw that elbow live in live feed. The ref, the crowd, the judges did not see it. The only time people seen it is in the. What'd you say? You say I'm lying?
Lie.
Go back. You say I'm lying.
Brother, I mean,
okay,
really?
Anyway. Huh?
We going this far with it? Really?
Can I mean, you brought it up. Can I address it? I'm telling you of why the ref didn't catch it. First of all, it was so fast. If you watch it live, you don't see it. What it looks like, it looked like a chopping right that landed. Even the commentator said, oh, he threw a little chopping right, and it was quick. The ref didn't notice it, the crowd didn't notice it, because it was an in-close swing when both of them were swinging, so you couldn't see it that fast. Now, when the replay came, they played the replay because they thought that was a solid hit, chopping right that Fury landed. When they looked, they was like, oh, shit, wait a minute, that was an elbow. Whoa. So it's too late. The ref has to catch it in the fight. They can't go later on and say, hey, we take a point because that last round you threw an elbow. That's not how it works. And as a matter of fact, I watch boxing enough to know that happens all the time. The ref don't catch it. Everybody catches it on the replay. We're like, whoa. So, and on top of that, let's say the ref did catch it. The ref is not going to, I hear a lot of people, oh, that's an automatic DQ. Well, you are automatic not a boxing fan because you clearly don't watch boxing because no ref will ever disqualify a fight, especially that one that big.
But you're when it's that blatant, like that. You're supposed to have, at the very least, you're supposed to have points deducted.
A warning.
A warning. What about points, sir? What about points?
That's what he would have got.
Sir, what about points, sir?
No, because something like an elbow is a lot more common in boxing than.
So you're telling me the elbows? Are you really trying to tell all of us that nobody gets points deducted for throwing elbows in boxing, sir?
Is that what I just said?
Sir, okay, then if they get then don't try to imply that you don't get penalized for it, sir, and that you just get a warning. You get a warning and points deducted at least.
That's not true. It depends. First of all, second of all, I'm telling you, based on how it happened, how it was when they were both swinging, how it was close, and I'm telling you, based upon that, he would have got a warning, a hard warning, like, hey, don't do that, no more of that. And he would have, and then also the damage. Like for instance, if he cut him from that, and then it had to be a timeout because he got cut, then the ref probably would have. That would have been the time a ref took a point. Trust me, I noticed. I watch boxing. But if it was just the action just kept going, he wasn't fazed by it. And if the ref did catch it, he'd have been saying like, hey, watch the elbows. They do it all the time. The ref talks to him in the ring.
Well, brother,
I'm telling you, man.
Brother, I'm talking to my secretary right now. We're gonna see if you can get you a I don't love Becky's, but I really, really like them t-shirt. I'm gonna see if I can get. We're gonna see if we can get that
man.
one.
I love boxing.
We're gonna get your.
He is a great.
We're gonna get your Justin Bieber. We're gonna get your Justin Bieber baseball cap.
Not about to have a whole bunch of non-boxing.
Brother, we got to get your Justin Bieber. We're gonna get your Justin Bieber baseball cap.
Whatever.
We gotta.
That's a cop out.
We gotta get that to you stat.
I ain't no coon. That's a cop out.
I did not call you a coon. I did not call you a coon, brother. I did not say that. I am not
Sure.
calling you a coon. I'm just
Sure.
saying, by the way, I think I saw you at the Taylor Swift concert. So I think I heard you on the third row. So I'm just letting everybody know.
That's cool.
It's like Dwight Howard. I'm respecting your life is what I'm doing. I'm respecting.
That's a white flag. I hit you all logical points that you can't refute. So now I like white girls. Okay, got it.
No, I didn't say you do. I'm just saying I want to make sure you're comfortable in every environment that you're in. So that's all I'm saying, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. So I'm not calling him a coon. I'm just saying. I think I heard him doing the Carlton dance before I got on the line with him. That's all I'm saying. I think I heard him singing. It's not unusual. That's all I'm saying. I am not calling him a coon. No, I'm not. I'm not saying he dates white girls. I literally just said the T-shirt's gonna say I don't love him. I really, really like him, but no, I don't love him. No. Please don't put words in my mouth, brother. I said what I meant. That was the opposition. Hey, everybody, points don't matter. Elbows don't matter. Elbows are legal. Knockdowns don't count. So elbows are legal. Knockdowns don't count. Don't worry about all that. Call from area code 347. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay. Call from area code 347. You're on live. Okay. Caller from 347 has been abducted. Caller from area code 917. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Brother Black, this is Sage from Brooklyn.
All right, Sage from Brooklyn. What's on your mind?
How you doing, brother? Okay, not only am I one that's a student of boxing, I also participate in the sport. Active member of 77 Gleason Street in Brooklyn, New York. Let me let you know exactly what the referee can do when you're talking about boxing. Not only if that elbow is discovered to be an unblatant and a violation of the rule, the referee can go back during the break between rounds and stop the fight. Knowing that that elbow was given, he can stop the fight. Not just that. After the match, even if Fury was granted the win, the fight can be granted a no contest due to the elbow that occurred during that round.
Oh, you make a good point. You make a good point with that one. Like I said, I'm not really a boxing head in that regard, but you actually make a good point with that one. Yeah, that actually can happen after the fight. You're correct.
Correct. And that has been happening throughout the years. Matter of fact, they did that to Mike Tyson, if you don't remember that. That happened with him. So again, don't let these people, I understand, you don't watch it on and off the sport, but don't let these people call up here and give you some false information about something that, I scored it round for round. Again, Fury has always been, throughout his whole career, he's always been good at cheating and getting away or bending the rules, as they call it in the sport. But again, that fight today can be reversed, and the fact that they're not doing it shows you that white supremacy has taken over. Much love, brother. And B1, have a good one.
B1, brother, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get caller from area code 310. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Kinaz from Houston.
All right, Kinaz from Houston, what's on your mind?
So that previous caller, man, this first off, look, I've been listening for about like 2 years. This is my first time ever calling. And this is just because I'm a real big fighting fan. And the caller who was saying he was, a real big boxing fan, he was talking about the ring generalship and whatnot. And I watched the fight a couple times already myself. And throughout the whole fight, Francis was walking dude down, just walking him down. And if you notice, each time when Fury was trying to flinch at him, Francis wasn't biting on them flinches. He was standing his ground. And this is a dude who, if y'all don't know his story, this cat, he went through a lot in the UFC. And Dana was trying to make sure that he didn't get the title fight. And then when he got the title fight, he actually sent him an email before the fight threatening to sue him and his team right before he walked out to the octagon. And they was telling him not to take the fight because he had his MCL and some other stuff tore up in his leg. Still went out there, won the fight, and he won it in a way that he don't normally win. He wrestled dude. Normally he known for knocking people out, but he wrestled him, got his title, then walked away, came over here to boxing, and then just now did that. So, but yeah, he did win that. I mean, he was controlling his lead hand the whole time, walking him down and landing more power shots. Not more jabs, but more power shots.
Well, according to the caller, though, power shots don't matter except when they do, which is kind of, well, we don't know when. As far as the UFC is concerned, certainly they want to run that place like the WWE, which now is ironic because the WWE and the UFC have had a merger. So I guess now they can just walk across the hall as opposed to sending emails. But definitely they wanted to have a situation where Francis was going to drop the belt. You got to watch that when they try to hold you in those contracts so long. Next thing you know, something crazy will happen in a fight. And then the next thing you know, you wind up losing the belt and they can hand it to somebody else and claim that they beat you. So they don't like to see champions leave out of their, with their championships. They don't like to see you leave still, the champ. They don't want that. They want you to drop the belt to somebody and then the promotion can get behind them just like they do in the WWE. So definitely they were talking to that. And like Francis has a story before he ever got to the UFC. By the way, Francis' story is before he even got there. If you all take a look at some of the stuff he had to do, he was basically a refugee. He's come a long way across several countries. So I mean, this guy's a special breed. He really, really is. And under those circumstances, you don't have a right to be stealing fights for him like this. This man has fought for everything he's gotten. He's earned every single thing. Nobody has given him anything. Meanwhile, they're sitting up here giving Fury this thing. So that's the real crime of this. Is this man earned what he's gotten? You have absolutely no right to sit up here and steal something from him when he's worked this hard to earn that. When they talk about meritocracy, get out of here. I'll give you the last word.
Well, man, I'll say it's an honor and privilege talking to you. I was going to call up under some other circumstances whenever you had a different topic, but this one I feel like it's something I had to just hop on just because I'm a big fan of MMA. But, I mean, just throughout all different genres, think about Brett Favre. He still ain't finna get locked up. These white people always being protected. And that one football player who choked out that black girl, tried to kill her, I forgot his name because they won't even mention him. So they got their job done because I can't even remember his name. But he was a football player, tried to kill a black girl. They don't never talk about these white players or, do what they're supposed to do. But B1, appreciate you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now, let me get caller from area code 601. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, brother? This is Jeremiah from Jackson, Mississippi.
Jeremiah from Jackson, Mississippi. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man, I coach MMA and boxing, and this is a very interesting thing. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm surprised that our brother did this well. He beat the brakes off Fury. And let's give homage to our SBA brother, Deontay Wilder, because really, Wilder whooped his ass twice and they stole the fight from him. He knocked Fury unconscious the first time they fought. I've never seen that before. In MMA or boxing, when your lights go out, they stop the shit. And they let him get back up. I'm trying to cuss so much. They let him get back up and he fought. And then the last fight they had, Wilder knocked him down. I counted to 15, and they let the man get out. Wait a minute, this fight supposed to be over with. So when you get off, it's hard to do it again, man. And Fury a big guy, so that stuff. MMA guys that train MMA and boxing actually competed in both of them. We give boxing guys problems because we can wrestle, and the only places I know that got that boxing wrestling stuff down real well, the guys in the Northeast, like Philadelphia area, D.C., New York, and in Ohio and Michigan, they know how to grapple and box at the same time. Like Bernard Hopkins is the best person I could illustrate that to you. So what the dude was doing, when somebody try to grab you, there's a technique called a frame you do. You frame the guy, and now you create a space for yourself to punch. And then you're not going to be able to beat them in tie-ups. And somebody hit me with an elbow, so what? That ain't going to bother Francis. We can hit with elbows on accident in the practice all the time, even when we're wrestling. You get kneed and shit in the head all the time. So the little punches, I was very surprised. Well, not surprised, but I was impressed how well he handled the punches. Because Fury hit him with a couple of good right hands that he broken other people down with. and that didn't bother him. Fury not really a one-punch knockout guy, but this is what he does to people. There's a brother named Cunningham. I can't remember his first name all of a sudden, but he was a very good boxer out of Philadelphia. And he was a cruiserweight champion. He moved up to heavyweight. And it was Fury's first fight in the United States. And dude dropped Fury, but Fury got up and he started doing what he does. He does a poor man version. He's trying to copy two people. If you know about, he's trying to copy Muhammad Ali, very sloppily, I may add. But he's trying to copy Muhammad Ali and Bernard Hopkins. So he danced around the outside, flicked the jab because he's long, and then if he can't beat you like that, then he start leaning on you, like Bernard Hopkins would do, tie you up and let go and punch you. And that's how he got the other brother out. But that didn't work against Francis because you can't out-wrestle somebody that wrestles. I got cauliflower ear. You're not going to out-wrestle me. I'm going to beat the brakes off if you try that bull crap with me. But he outpointed the dude the whole fight. You judge boxing matches by effective aggression. That means being able to move forward, throw punches, and land them without getting clipped every 25 freaking seconds. You know what I'm saying? So he's a moving forward, walking Fury down, and then the other caller was correct. He had his arm extended, nullifying Fury's jab. I knew kickboxing too, so changing southpaw ain't nothing. When you kick, you're going to land in another stance all the time. That's another thing that the MMA guys that really are good at boxing can do against boxers. We can change stances real easy because you're in another stance. So Fury tried to change, and it didn't bother him. He looked uncomfortable when he was southpaw. And so that's part of ring generalship when you get in different stances, maneuvering people around the ring. That's another thing. It's ring generalship. I mean, moving around, switching the guy position. The guy had you in the corner, you put him on the corner. And then you start getting off on the dude, punching him and stuff. And then power shots. He outlanded Fury. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was more than 7 to 9 punch difference of power shots, and that's anything but a jab. A jab is the only thing that's a non-power shot.
My thing right now is that Francis, imagine what he would be now with a year of training. Just imagine what he could do if you give him 12 more months. Imagine what he would come out being able to do then.
Yeah. A great man, look, all the other heavyweights are on notice right now. This guy is no suck MC. He gonna get out there. He gonna give anybody else hell he go in there with. But they had so much money riding on this fight because they're trying to have a unification fight between Fury and Usyk from Ukraine. And I know Usyk got to be licking his chops. He like, this motherfucker lose.
Well, from what I read, now Fury's people want to kind of delay. He was supposed to go to a fight with him, I think, in December, and now I think Fury's people are saying they want to kind of delay that now. So I think that's the ultimate. Don't ask me how the fight went. Ask Fury's people how the fight went. If they're now saying, that December fight, we might be busy in December now. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 310. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, brother? It's Jeff Brown. How are you, man?
Brother Jeff, California, what's on your mind, brother?
Yes, sir. Again, great program. I have to. That caller a couple of callers ago. And this is just general, Brother Jason. Where do black people get the pragmatic benefit of the doubt to even the scales anywhere when there is black competition versus white competition? I just don't understand how they're always willing to lend any weight, any credence, any believability, any fairness to the Caucasian side of any competition. The number that white folks is most afraid of is not 666. It's not 13. The number they scared of is 2. White folks don't want to be second to nobody, and they'll lie, cheat, steal, misinform, misdirect just to stay there. We got a World Series in baseball, and ain't nobody but us in. So, whether or not Tyson Fury put something in his glove against our brother Deontay, whether or not the elbow was clean or a mistake. And doing a little boxing and a little martial arts myself, that was not a mistake elbow, bro. That was not my jab missed and my weight was over my foot and my elbow went too far. That was a thrown elbow.
No, brother, you can see he held him with the left and then threw that right. You can see that.
Sure, exactly. So my issue isn't even with the fight, brother. I guess this is my question to you. What do you think makes black people do this mess all the time?
Because you have a systemic social conditioning that if you gonna speak out against them folks over there, there's gonna be consequences. There are gonna be consequences. There are gonna be repercussions. Like I've always said this: if you want to know what a black person really thinks, let a white person ask them the questions. They can sit up here and bull jive with us. You can't do that with the dominant society. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna talk to them or about them, we all understand we're about to find out what you're made of. And so invariably, you're going to have individuals who poke their heads up and let you know, well, I mean, black first, brother, but just one thing right here, you know what I mean? You got to understand, sometimes the rules do that there. And there you go. So they don't want the consequences over here, but it's like they're holding out that ideal that years ago I used to tell people that on every black person's shoulder, there's a little white supremacist, a little devil who whispers things in your ear. And the only difference is when he whispers in Jeff's ear, Jeff doesn't listen. He hears him. It's like, yeah, I'm disregarding that. For other folk, it's like, well, you know what I mean? I got some extra information. Are you sure it's not from that little bastard on your shoulder? Are you sure it's not from him?
Wow. Well, bro, I'll say this and I'll get out your face. To co-sign what you're saying about Brother Francis and what the stuff he's been through, and to co-sign what the brother said who got on before me, y'all gonna have some trouble with that man, because there are very few people on earth that have a why as big as his. With all the stuff he's been through, all the country, the story about him running from rebels and how his very story to stay alive, not succeed, to stay alive, you're going to have a hell of a time when you get in the ring against that why. And with that said, bro, I enjoy you. I enjoy what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Love the program.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Now here, Jeff is correct about that. Carl Jung has a saying. Jung had once said that a man who has a why to live for can survive almost anyhow. So if you all want to know what Jeff was saying, is about Francis's why, W-H-Y. Why are you here? Well, a man who has a why, he knows with absolute certainty why he's doing this. A man with a why to live for can survive almost anyhow. What is the how? How you gonna get there? If he has a why this big to live for and this big to survive for, he can make it through pretty much any how you throw at him. How is he gonna do it? Watch him. Watch him. By the way, one other thing, just a brief reminder to everyone. Do you all notice that we ain't doing a bunch of tether talk over here, nothing like that? You don't see anybody sitting up here trying to minimize Ngannou or anything like that. You notice that? You don't see anybody sitting up here talking about trying to minimize him and trying to sectionalize him or whatever. Did y'all notice that we can talk about these things right here without trying to denigrate him because of where he comes from? So for some of the other folks out there who are not from our lineage, this is the point that we're making in that regard. There's some lessons to be learned. Call from America code 704. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on? This is Jay Thomas from Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, Jay from Charlotte. What's on your mind?
I'm calling because when that dirty shot was hit on the brother with Colorado State and he was taken out for about a week, they didn't make a big hoop and uproar about that. They just wiped that off like that's a part of the game. But as soon as, Sanders' son is on the giving end of that, now it's a big deal. But also, when we look at this boxing, Now, I'm pretty sure if anybody knows that Endeavor just purchased WWE from Vince McMahon, and they really dropped the bomb on him by kicking him to the curb. But remember, Amari Emanuel is the CEO or of Endeavor. And then you put all of this to the surface. We already know contact sports. They can make all of this rah-rah shit in the public. But behind closed doors, it's very tight-knit. We can clearly see that we got a real hardcore suspected white supremacist who's running these things behind the scenes. Of course they're going to make Tyson Fury look like the great white hope. And as you were speaking of who they're going to drop the belt to, I mean, who's to say that would happen? Because he's a gypsy, and we know the history on gypsies. They do the little scheming, little, you know what I'm saying, side-handed craziness to get a victory, to get ahead. I think it's just white supremacy just working like it does, just hierarchy.
Couldn't agree with you more. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 313. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Alan Brown. I'm calling from Detroit. And I wanted to go back to I think it was the previous 2-3 callers who was talking about the match. I wanted to explain this because he's right and you are right. But I'm going to side with him on this more. And the reason why I'm going to side on him this more, if you go back and you look at a couple of matches, they'll give, if you do a low blow or something, they give you warnings on stuff like that. The second time you do it, that's when they deduct points. The only time that they would really deduct points immediately is if it's a bloodshed or it's a cut that is caused or it alters the match. That's when they'll deduct immediately. So they won't deduct immediately when there's something simple like that. So if he's still be able to fight and he's not wobbling and he's not knocked out or anything like that, they'll give him the warning first. And then if he does it again, that's when they'll deduct the point. But they only deduct after, if you look back, I'll give you an example. You can go back to Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Because as soon as he bit his ear and that blood shedded, that's when they deducted a point. But if you can go and look at any other ones, man, somebody get hit in the pride, man, they're going to warn them, and then the second time, then they'll deduct the point. So that's all I got to say. I hope you look at that. You have a great day.
Alrighty then. All I can say is there's a bunch of niggas listening to Britney Spears calling me up tonight, and it's just, they making up their own rules in boxing now about stuff. So that's all I can say. So Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, it's Christina Aguilera. Some of these niggas is sitting at home and just rocking out. So I'm just letting them do what they do. Jason, why didn't you argue with him? Y'all heard the same nonsense I just heard. What do you want me to argue with? What do you want me to argue with? In the chat room, you're correct. That's Nietzsche, not Jung. Good catch on that one right there. Got my Germans messed up. Let me get caller from area code 540. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Lynn from Virginia.
Okay, Lynn from where at in Virginia?
And Winchester.
All right, Lynn from Winchester. What's on your mind?
Yeah. This is we all know the white supremacy and racism that's been in boxing. Boxing is one of the worst sports for that. And not only that, but what I wanted to say was, let's go back to the Pernell Whitaker fight, where Pernell Whitaker out-jabbed Oscar De La Hoya with 400 more jabs, and Oscar De La Hoya only hit him with like 30 or 40 power punches more than what, Sweet Pea did. They gave the belt to De La Hoya because they knew that De La Hoya was going to make them money and how the Spanish, back their fighters. And I like to comment about the Great White Hope thing with my brother. They don't want to, give the belt back. They got their Great White Hope and they're trying to make him last as long as they can. but we see he's falling off.
Yeah, I'm glad you
But,
pointed
yeah, I
that out
appreciate
there, because
that.
that's what I was saying to the caller there earlier when you talking about jabs landed or points, hits landed and whatnot. I'm like, actually, no, that's not the way they count that. No, they don't do that.
Right.
Because that's why I asked him, okay, are you
Right.
saying that they count absolute punches landed? No, they don't. So without me going too far off in the woods, because most people are only casual boxing fans, so once we start getting off into the regulations and woods of it, a lot of folks might be lost. But the bottom line is, yeah, you can throw a flurry of punches and those not be counted. You can throw a flurry of them, and it doesn't get counted. That happens regularly, routinely. They do not count absolute number of punches. They don't.
Well, like the case I just gave to you, where Pernell Whitaker out jabbed Oscar De La Hoya by 400 more jabs. Those are points that landed, right? And the only thing that Oscar De La Hoya did was hit him with like 40 more power punches than what Pernell hit him with. 40 is only 10% of 400. So he hit him 360 more times, but they gave it to De La Hoya because he had 40 more power punches. See?
Whatever that means.
The opposite of what they... Well, yeah, right. Right.
There's the other thing is, by the way, whatever in the hell that means, power punches.
Giving us the narrative that they want us
Who's in
to
there
hear is what they're
measuring
doing.
that? That's what I'm saying. Who the hell's in there measuring? Oh, those are power punches. Okay, so the fellow who got his eye swole up and his lip blown up here on Fury, so them wasn't power punches? Really? Well, it's relative. That's what I'm saying. Okay, brother, let me get you, I don't love Becky's, but I really need one T-shirt, because it's like, we got some I'm white and I say so logic, period.
Yeah. Well, they keep on.
Oh, I'm sorry, and knocking him.
Over and over again, and they keep on telling a lie over and over again.
Well,
and
here's
they
my
start to
thing.
believe the shit.
So knocking him down is not a power punch.
All right.
So that wasn't no power punch. Well, you knocked him down, but that's not a power. That's a knockdown. So that doesn't count for power punches, really? Okay.
Uppercuts, hooks, stuff like that. That's your power punches, uppercuts, hooks, stuff like that. But like you said, it's all about how they want to paint the narrative. That's what the real thing comes down to, is who they want to win. Because boxing has always been, like I said, one of the most racist sports towards, our people, all the way back to Jack Johnson and things that, that nature, brother. So I appreciate you letting me call in, and thank you.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Like I say, there's power punches. I'm like, really? Seriously? What are you talking about here? Aggressiveness, okay, other than pushing the action. If you don't swell up the other fella and you sitting up here looking like you ready to go take pictures for GQ, it's like, what are we using to gauge here? Well, whatever helps the white fighter, that's what we using. Caller America 405, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Al, Oklahoma City.
Al, Oklahoma City, what's on your mind?
Yeah, again, I have to agree with you again on this one there, Jason. One thing I wanted to actually see, it was really 2 more rounds, right? Because again, he looked real gassed out, like you say, he was beat up, cut up, But one thing that we have to start doing, and I don't think you might have mentioned this earlier, but you have to knock white supremacy out.
Yep.
If it goes to a decision, white supremacy is going to win every time.
Because they're the judges. So if it goes to a decision,
exactly.
they're the ones judging. Okay, well, we need to make a decision here, and you give it all those suspected white supremacists over there. But don't worry, we'll be back in a minute. Oh, what do you know? We won again. We've investigated I'm filing a complaint. Okay, we've investigated ourselves, and we found no wrongdoing.
Right. But, I'm just saying, like, stop complaining, know what you're dealing with. If you don't get the knockout, if you let white supremacy go to a decision, whether it's, again, you know what you're going to do. You're going to need to take that plea deal, right? Or, when they go to the decision is going the other way. You probably get shipped up to, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all I wanted to pretty much say, though.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here Good advice. Sage advice. Sage advice. You can't just knock them down. You got to knock them out. If it goes to a decision, they'll be the ones making the decision. Well, we have reviewed the footage of us getting knocked out, and we don't think it's a knockout. No. Had them on to review it. We think we're okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes this broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is